That thing right there is a little too strong. Let me see if the numbers.
Imagine being able to build any.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. I build a life where no one has to worry about issues, bro. I'm really trying to I don't know. I don't know how stable this stream is gonna be. Cause my thing is like what I don't want is for the stream to fall off the face of the planet while I'm like in the middle, of like having one of the most true conversations I could possibly have with people, bro. Kid you not. I'm gonna have to try and process for a minute. Take some of the zoom out. Tilt. Bro, if I were a YouTuber, man. Just have to keep looking at this number because I'm not sure how stable it's gonna be. It usually hovers around like 4,000. It just had to be this weekend, bro. This weekend. I don't know, man. Usually, like, I'm more excited than this. I don't even know where to start, Wi-Fi. I don't even know where to start. I don't know, buddy. I came home, found out some really annoying information. Like every year I've had the same conversation and I argue over the same like programs and like organizations like where I currently live. in that moment when I was like annoyed, I reached out, to my younger brother and everything. And I was saying it, and I was just telling him about like my goals, my dreams, and everything, bro. I'm just annoyed, man. Irritated. Like, I kid you not, the 97-degree weather today was nothing compared to like how annoyed I am right now. No, it's just like I'm angry, man. Angry. Legit angry. Like, came in the house today and I was like, I'm like, yeah, singing on the way in, I'm like, we about to play some video games. How we doing, Star? What's going on? I was like, we gonna go in the house, we're gonna play some video games, we're gonna relax. Then you come in the house after a week of working. You already got to deal with nonsense at the job. You already got to deal with that. Come in the house. And then, you get, like, you hear news that you don't want to hear. You have to have conversations that you don't want to have. And like, then you sit there and you be arguing. For what? like, I'm like, look, we gonna turn the stream on. How bad is it? Like, it's bad. It's bad enough, you know. But it's like where I see, because I've always been able to like pick up. I've always been able to find optimism in like all situations, right? I've always been able to do that, and even today, like, appreciate that, Star.
Hey, I'm star underscore cheered. 100. I hope this cheers you up a bit, Grubs.
Appreciate that, Star. You know, that gives me, gives me strength, because I know that the channel came a long way. Came a long way. You know, like I'm able to talk to you guys and be present and be like that positive, energy in a room, and not be too. I bought 100 bitty boos just for you. Appreciate that. It's just like there's something that I believe in, and recently I've been saying that a lot because it's important. I think that if you don't stand for something, then you'll never stand for anything. And like I'm sitting there like all week, bro, like the past 2 weeks, like I've had to deal with work stuff. I've had to deal with work stuff. And if I can't be honest, with you guys, then I can't be. It'll be difficult to be honest with myself. But I can't fool me. I can't fool myself. I know what I think about on a daily. And then I was mad, bro. I was mad, and I didn't like start getting pissed off until like I sat down, and I'm like, we're gonna play a game. We're gonna turn the stream on and like play a game. But I'm like, nah, I can't play a game right now. I need to talk to the people. I need to have a conversation. And then I'm sitting here and I'm trying to like say the words, and nothing else pissed me off until I got home. Like I went to work. I had to deal with this new boss. I've had to deal with this man for 2 weeks already, and not once was I this angry. And it's not even work related. It's life related. And I know that when I first hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and then I hit 1,000 followers on Twitch, that meant a lot to me. But what I couldn't sit there and do was play the same game, because that isn't who I am. I have like a greater vision, and it can't just be this one video game that I'm playing. So I took the risk, and we stopped playing Geometry Dash. And we have a decent amount of people that tune into the streams, sometimes despite what we play. Now I know we will always have people that, that tune in and then they want us to play something else, but my life and where my head is, like, I see something and I want to accomplish it. I got your thing, Star. Hey Grubs, know you're strong for just wanting to talk to us. It takes a lot of courage to talk about this on air, and know we all love you and support you through your struggles and hardships, no matter what. Yeah, I gotta say, like, out of everything that I've gone through, as a kid, like this right here, bro, this thing that I got to deal with right now is so infuriating because like it affects those that I care about. And it's so annoying that like you sit there, you try to get ahead in life, but there's some organization out there that is ready to penalize you for being ambitious, bro. And I hate that. My whole life, ever since I was a kid, I've seen my cousins, I've seen my aunts, my uncles, I've seen people out on the street, at the bus stop, gas station, school, all of that. Sit there and they tell you these stories. And ever since I was a kid, I've always told myself that that will not be my story. It can't be my story. I will not allow it to be my story. And then what makes it difficult is when you live with people that are on these programs, you fall into the category of, well, by default, first you're a dependent. Ever since I was a little kid, like, my family has been on like government assistance, food stamps, welfare, and I hate it because when I was little, I could never do anything about it. You're just on it. Even if you're not on it directly, you're on it indirectly by the people that you live with. Now, don't get me wrong. It has its benefits. And I'm not denying that. But the systems I truly feel in my soul, bro, that they are built to keep you down, bro. I work a job as a case manager, bro. And I've been at odds with government programs my entire life. And it's so ironic that I get a job, that I have to go door to door, meet people in their community, whether it be a church, whether it be a bench, whether it be their house. And I gotta ask these people what they want, what they're trying to work on to help maintain their mental health, right? And it's in a realm of getting them to apply for programs where some of these people don't even need them. So what ends up happening? And this is really how I feel about it, because I've seen this as a kid, bro. When I said that I would meet people like at a bus stop when I was little, when I was I think I was saving up for my first car. All I had was, I went from a work-study job to my first real job. And the job that I got, I wouldn't have even had that. I got the job for one reason. Was strong enough. It was the only reason that mattered to me at the time. Until this day, it still does. But in that instance, I went ahead and I applied for this job as a merchandise processor, right? And I must have been like, what, 14, 15, 16 at the time? I was probably older than that, because I didn't get my first real job until I was a freshman in college. But I did work study first. I was getting paid like $9 an hour. I kid you not. So I get my first real job lined up as a I go in, and the job is it's me picking up the job that I applied for was merchandise processing. For those of you that don't know what merchandise processing is, that's pretty much like inventory and like a Pathmark shop, right? Like you're dealing with items, clothes, putting tags on stuff. You're not really dealing with people. So I'm sitting in a room for this interview, my very first interview ever, right? Like real interview, not work study, real job interview with a real job offer on the table. I'm talking to the dude, and I said, yeah, I applied for this merchandise processing job, right? And the guy looks at me, he says, we don't have a job position. We don't have that job available to you. We don't have a merchandise position available. He said, but we do have customer service. And in that moment, I had a choice. I could have made every excuse in the book, right? Nah, it's not what I'm looking for. It's not what I asked for, so I don't want it. When I told you guys that I took the job for one reason, I took the job because of my mom. I took the job because of her. And I told myself that, Josh, I want you to take this job. And then the reason why is because you can go home and you can tell your mom you got a job all on your own. You applied for it. You went to the interview. Even though you didn't get what you wanted, there was another offer on the table. So I took it. No questions asked. I didn't care about whether I liked it or not. I just picked the job up because I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do this for my mom. You know, I want to get a job. I want to show her that I can, you know, that I can learn to do things on my own. So I got the job. Sat in the car. I said, yeah, Mom, I got a job. Stayed there for like 3 months, 3-4 months. Then I started working at FedEx and UPS. And for as long as I can remember, ever since I was in undergrad, all the way up until now, we've been living in the same spot. Now, when I had my first job, I was around like maybe 21, 22, 23, right? Now, outside of all of that other stuff, like, you know, we're in the same place, right? And one thing that I noticed when I started working at FedEx, when I started working at UPS, I was working at the part-time level. I wasn't even making like 20 hours a week. And for some reason, it hurt my mom. And then that's when it hit me. That's when it hit me that these government programs, bro, if you are somebody that is ambitious and you have dreams, you have goals, and you have real things that you want to do to become independent and not reliant on some weak government program, bro, it starts to hurt those around you. Now you sitting there having conversations, arguing for what? Over someone else? Over some outside entity, outside organization that can dictate whether you have a place at the end of the day or not? Whether you maintain benefits or not? Do you know what it takes to maintain status on certain programs? Let's talk about one of the stipulations of Medicaid, as long as my live connection doesn't drop. Do you know what it takes to maintain Medicaid? If I'm not mistaken, you cannot have more than $2,000 in your bank account, bro. If you have more than $2,000 in any account, that alone, from a financial standpoint, makes you ineligible for Medicaid. How do I know? Because of my mom. My mom almost lost I just lost the connection, bro. We still live? We still live, guys? I know, like, my connection is going up and it's going down. I can only hope that it's okay, because I just saw it dip to 0, bro. And something in me told me that watching these numbers right now be as low as they are, I'm not going to be able to say what I want to say. But I'm gonna just keep going until like it completely shuts down. Then if it hit me before that, but it really hit me when I had to sit in the room and I had to have another conversation with my mom about like Medicaid. I had this conversation, and so me and my mom were sitting there and we're going back and forth, and my mother's getting mad at me. She's getting mad at me because she said that I didn't report my information correctly, and so she's gonna lose Medicaid. This is why government programs piss me off, because there is something in me that refuses to be dependent and reliant on government assistance, because the programs are built to keep you down. They are not built for you to get ahead and stay ahead. They're not built for that. And this is how I see it. For every client out there that I have served over the past 2 years and helped them apply for like government programs, food stamps, Medicaid, right? Those are the two big ones. And all of the other programs in between, like Social Security benefits. Right? Don't you know that if you are receiving Social Security disability, you are literally limited to work 20 hours max a month? If I'm not mistaken, 20 hours max. What if you're more ambitious than that? What if you want to be better or build up a more productive life than that? What if you want to be an entrepreneur? What if you do want to go out there and make more money? Because you're on disability, technically, you're at a cap. Medicaid is one of those programs that a lot of people need, but at the same time, it's also one of those programs that penalizes you for having what they deem is more than what they think, more than what you qualify for. If the Medicaid limit is $1,900 and you have $1,901, I kid you not, bro, you can literally be $1 over and you would not qualify. You could be $13 over and you would not qualify. What pisses me off is that I am so ambitious that it hurts those around me, because we're together. And the way I see life, period, ever since I was a kid, anything that you want out of this life, you have to be willing to risk it for the biscuit, bro. You got to be willing to take a chance. You have to be willing to put yourself out there. Every job that I've gotten, some way, somehow, comes right back and has a negative effect on those I care about. And it really pisses me off, because all you want to do is protect people, bro. That's all you want to do. You want to protect them. But what makes it challenging to do so is the fact that by you residing with someone and you're bringing money into the house because you're working a full-time job, and for you to have to report said income every month, every 6 months, every year, just to maintain what was given to the family. How in the hell is that a way of life, bro? How is that beneficial for the next 5-10 years? Now, I know what people say. Billionaires say it. Rich people say it. And I've heard a couple of them say it before. Oh, renting is better than owning. But try saying that to somebody who's been renting an apartment their whole life. Try saying that to them. Try saying that to somebody who's never owned anything, who survived off of beefaroni and oodles and noodles his whole life, that the next best thing for you was not to own some property. Trust. That's why for me, one thing that I've always said is that life does not have any blueprints. You know? You go with the flow, you figure out what you can, what you can't figure out, you kind of let be. And you just try to do what you can so that you're not coasting. But to sit there and tell somebody who everyone around him has been renting apartments, going from apartment to apartment since the day I was born, and only had one friend that I seen who owned a house. I had a friend. We went to grammar school together, and we went to high school together. Separated around college time because I went my own way, because I'm like, I need for my life to mean something. And I didn't want to do what everybody else was doing, so I went my own way. I went to Jersey City. Yeah, I'm saying it. I went to Jersey City, and I went to St. Peter's University. Studied there. And the reason why I went there was because everyone else that I knew was going to a different school. They were going to they were all applying for a local university. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I want to be different. I'm going to go my own way. And so that's exactly what I did. That friend, where me and my family lived, my friend lived literally the next block over. Every residence on that block was a house. For a mile, bro. For a mile. That was the only friend I've ever known that had a house. The only friend. That was the only friend that owned a house, bro. And then I go to college. No, actually before college. I started going on college tours as a junior in high school. We enter a town. And for some reason, I always remember the same town, bro. We took a tour of Princeton University in Princeton, New Jersey. I see a house. This house, bro, not only was a house on stilts, but it had like a patio, a deck, whatever you want to call it. It wrapped around the whole house. I never saw a house like that. Ever. For someone like me, who's been living in apartment buildings forever, was lucky enough to live in a 4-family house for about maybe a year and a half before the landlord went to the left and started raising house prices, and we had to move out. And where did we move out to? Another apartment building. To see that house, bro, in Princeton, to see that house, I never saw a house like that ever. Ever. And then it made me want a house. Just seeing that, it made me want a house. And then in my head, I'm like, not only do I want a house, why can't I have it? Why can't that be me? Like, why can't that be us? Right? And that's where my head is. But the only issue, the only challenge, the only negative, if you will, that has is that, bro, like, since when did success start to harm those around you? Any level of success. I'm over here trying to do my best to get my own property, get my own thing that I can call mine. And if I'm super fortunate, maybe it could be a duplex, right? Duplex, loft. Give me a 2-story house, something like that, right? One of the three. Rent out one side, move my family in on the side with me. Something like that. Or don't even rent out the second floor to a random. Rent it out to family. And I know it sounds crazy for people that don't believe it. But my whole thing is, who said that it wasn't possible? Right? And then in this particular case, right here, right now, I couldn't even play a video game because I was mad. I was mad and I'm still mad. And I will always be mad. Because I hate these public housing programs, bro. I hate them. I hate them like with every drop of blood in my body. I hate them. Because you go out there in the world, you go get a full-time job. We could take it to the baby steps. You get a part-time job, they raise your rent. You get a full-time job, they raise your rent. And you see those around you suffer because of it. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to afford this. I don't know how I'm going to afford that. And that's why I'm like, bro, if everybody was ambitious, bro, and if you could just get yourself in the mindset and acquire the necessary tools so that you didn't have to depend on these programs, you wouldn't be having to have these interactions or conversations with people. The problem is when you are one of the few people in your circle that think like that, that's where that issue it will keep arising. And so, like, what do? Do you go your own way? Separate from the family? Is that what you should do? The only reason why I'm not telling you guys exactly what I'm doing right now is because I've always been the type of person to look at it from the following standpoint. When I see the day one, then I'll share that information. But I get home today. Mom is having a conversation on the phone with somebody. She gets off the phone. And you know what she tells me? She tells me, oh, we're gonna be our lease is gonna be terminated. We're gonna have to vacate this apartment by next month. Because you didn't provide your 401k. That's what she told me. I saw the papers. I was trying not to get mad because when you have certain conversations with people, it gets to a point where you're not listening. And it's been like that for far too long, bro, and I'm sick of it. I'm so sick and tired of having to abide by someone else's rules, man. And I don't mean that in a way of, oh, like you don't like to follow orders. I don't mean that in that way. What I'm saying is this cannot be what it means to live. There is a reason why I want to have my own property, bro. Because I'm not going to have somebody asking me, checking for me constantly because it's mine. I own it. Stop talking to me. Now, it is different, right? It would be different if I had a house that was a part of an HOA, because there are rules and regulations that come with having a house being a part of an HOA. But guess what? I still got a house, though. American dream? I don't know, Yami. I don't know. Like, I know that, like, to a certain extent, like the American dream is like, a lot of people say that that's impossible. My thing is, I don't even want the American dream, bro. I don't want the big house. I don't want the fancy car. I want to take care of my family, bro. That's what I want. And for me, what I see is that if I were to get a house, if I were to get like, like a piece of property that's mine, bro, I can do that. I can do that. If I could just have my own. When you're renting, it's hard to do that, bro. It's hard to rent something, try to take care of people, and then try to invest at the same time. Because, and I know people say, oh, well, there's like this assumption that when you're renting, you can't save money. Imagine paying $24,000 a month in rent alone, and you get no return on that investment outside of the fact that you have shelter. Now, I know what people have said before. Oh, well, you don't understand what it means to own your own property. There's garbage fees. Maybe you have to, cut your lawn. You got to pay your mortgage. And, if you don't have a decent sized down payment, you have to get PMI, which is private mortgage insurance, which pack a punch your mortgage a little bit, right? $2,100 for mortgage or $1,900 for rent, right? Now, I do understand that there are other things too. If something breaks, you're the one that's going to have to go fix it. So you have to be mindful of like random costs, random house maintenance costs that pop up as a result of owning your own property. No one ever said that owning your own property was easy. No one ever said that, because if it was easy, everybody would have a house. Not everybody has a house. There are more people that rent apartments than there are people that own homes. You can take the most expensive towns and cities in which you live in. I have seen houses, bro, that had woods in front of the house. Why is it that there are people out there in the world that have enough money to afford something like that? Meanwhile, the places where I come from, we don't own any of that. And no one, and it seems to me that no one even cares to go try and go own that, to go get their own. If you have your own property, that can be turned into an investment property that makes you passive income, bro. It's not about making it to a point where you're passive income another day in your life. That generates money that allows you to take care of those that you care about and take care of yourself. You now have the ability to make certain decisions. That's how I see it. But then when you're on government program and you're on government assistance, like housing assistance, they want to know everything, bro. They want to know everything. And it is truly a thorn in the side of the ambitious mind. Truly. I hate these programs, bro. I hate them. I hate them. I hate what these programs do to people. I hate the fact that they saturate them. Like, people, the way that programs are built, it makes it nearly impossible for people to get off. And I gave this example before, and I'm gonna give it on stream. Imagine if you're getting housing assistance, you have food stamps, and you have right? And let's throw Social Security benefits on top of that, SSI or disability, right? Why would someone ever want to go out there and go get their own when the government is taking care of all of their basic needs? Okay, bro. It's probably going to keep going down, bro. My connection is most likely going to keep going down. Guys, are we there, or are we still live? My YouTube people, we still here, or it just disconnected? Let me know. Let me know. Cause it's been fluctuating, bro. It's been fluctuating. We still here, or it shut me out? Let me go check. Cause sometimes I know what YouTube will do is it'll shut it out and give me a whole new one. Testing. Alright, so we're still here. Switch still connected. Connected. Look, my Twitch done silenced itself. My Twitch is muted. Sorry, man. Sorry about that, guys. Like my Twitch people. Sorry, it's muted. But I'm just saying. Like, I hate that. And that's the first thing you hear when you come in the house. First thing I hear when I come in the house is, oh yeah, I've been served with, termination papers. And I'm like, now I'm sitting here going through it again, bro. Going through it. For what? Because some weak ass program is out there talking about how you need to, provide these documents. And guess what? And in the case that document isn't enough, you did all of that for what? Just to be at the mercy of someone else telling you that, oh, you're going to have to find another place to stay? These programs don't give a damn about your ambition, bro. They expect, just like the job, they expect for you to fall in line, no questions asked. Everything they ask for, you are to provide, no questions asked. It's not a way to live. It is not a way to live, and I hate that. Once again, I hate what it looks like. I hate what it feels like. I hate that people get saturated by it, bro. I hate that with a passion. Every step I make, bro. Every time, every dollar. I don't know, Weefy. By default, me alone right now, I don't even qualify for like the programs. Like, my mom almost lost her benefits because of me. Because of my ambition to want to go out there and go get a job. Her Medicaid becomes a question. Now her housing becomes a question. Her rent goes up because of me. Yeah, I do. But one thing that I've always wanted was to flip the roles. Take care of those that take care of me. Yep. Yeah. Ever since, but that's why I said, if I can't be honest with you guys, and you guys aren't gonna understand like what's going on. It would mean the world to me to have my own and to just, be my mother's landlord, bro. Be my mother's landlord. You think I'm gonna bother my mom about payments if I gotta say, Mom, as long as you cooking meals, You won't have to worry about it. But I felt that it was necessary for me to be honest with you guys. And I know what people say. Well, do you ever think about, like moving out? Yeah, I do. And not because I have to. It's more so a mix. Like, I have to when I want to. I want to get out of this cycle, this situation. I want better for me. I want better for my family, but I know I have to take care of me first. I know that, and I'm trying. But there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. When I said it earlier. When I was working at UPS, I was getting maybe 16 hours a week, man. 16 hours a week. I think I was getting paid maybe $11. They still raised my mother's rent, bro. They still raised her rent. Even though I wasn't even making a lot, they still raised it. And once again, it just keeps going. It only gets worse. It only gets worse. So I want to paint a scenario for you guys for what a person would possibly consider under those circumstances. Let's say you have a full-time job, right? Let's say you have a full-time job and you're getting some type of, you're in like a public housing situation. No, we're going to start off at part-time. Let's say, you get a part-time job and you're in like a public housing situation. You qualify for said residence because you met a income threshold, right? You met a certain income limit. But we're going to be real raw about it. Your income falls in the category of very low income. So you qualify for this apartment. Let's say you're more ambitious than that, though. Man, I'm not about to have a part-time job forever. I'm about to go out there and go get me a full-time. So you go out there into the world, you get yourself a full-time job because you call yourself trying to make more of your life. And you look at it like, look, my life is more than what this is right now. I have a part-time. I know I have the ability to go work a full-time job. And so guess what? That's exactly what you went out there and did. Now, because you make too much money, your apartment is in jeopardy. Now you're about to lose your apartment because you make too much money. You don't qualify now. You're above the income threshold. Now, a couple of things are going to happen. Either A, your rent is going to go up by default because now you got more money. So you're paying more money for the same spot. Ain't nothing else changing but your income. But now they're going to charge you more for it. Oh, that's the way business works. Bro, if somebody doesn't have enough money to afford this one thing, right? So you give them a price. Then they go out there, they go get a full-time job. The full-time job only means that now they can better afford the price that you gave them. If they're in good faith and they're not trying to finesse the system. I understand if it's a situation where you were lying about your income, where you were hiding what you had going on. And then they said, oh, well, you lied about it. So now we're going to raise it. I can understand that. But when you're going out there into the world and you're trying to be better than what you were and you're trying not to be dependent on government programs, you get penalized for being ambitious. You get penalized for making more money. So now you have a choice. You got a real choice right now. Oh, because some people, they get a little comfortable because of that low price that you got. So now some people get a little comfortable. So some people start thinking, you know what I could do? Maybe I should, move back down to part-time so that I can maintain this rent right here. Why should you have to lower yourself to maintain a benefit? Why? If that's the case, you could just go out there and go get your own stuff. Go out there, get yourself a full-time job that has, all of the benefits included. That way, you don't need Medicaid because you're getting, if you do get Medicaid, you're getting it through the job because full-time benefits. Why not that way? Why not do it that way? Because it's always going to come back to the income piece, and then you're going to get penalized for it. You can see it as a penalty, which it is. You're taking a financial hit either way. But my whole thing is, you wonder why people decide that, oh, I'm going to just work a little bit. I'm not going to work a lot. I'm going to just work a little bit. I've heard people say it before. I literally work in a job where my job is to help people apply for the very programs that I hate. Ironic, isn't it? But I can detach. I understand that there are people in this world that really do need these benefits, like Medicaid. But didn't they just say that, there's a new bill that got released and now people are afraid? Are they even going to still qualify for Medicaid at that point? My thing is this. If you are an ambitious individual on the face of this planet and you feel as though there is more to life than what you have right now, I understand if you have to get on government programs. I understand that. But I do hope and I do pray that you have the mindset and that you have the conviction to get to a point where when you don't need the programs anymore, you just get the hell off of them completely. Because the longer you stay on these programs, the longer they have the possibility to have you saturated by the system. Ever since I was little, I've gotten into arguments with so many people about what they call welfare. I understand that there are people out there in the world that need it. But now I also understand that there are a lot of people in the world that could do without if they just went ahead, did their own thing, and applied themselves, bro. You hear people say all the time, getting a job is hard. Getting a job is hard because there are jobs out there that people are just not willing to work at all. They feel as though they're above them. People don't want to work a cleaning job part-time. People don't want to work, they don't want to be a housekeeper full-time. There are jobs out there that are available that people don't want to take because they're looking for the perfect fit. If you have nothing, you cannot be picky, okay? When I was little and I was trying to get a job, you know what job I went for? I went for jobs that people didn't like, okay? And to make matters even more sweeter for me, I worked shifts that people didn't like. I was a security guard. Every once in a while I say I was an administrative assistant. I was a security guard. And I had a full-time job when COVID first hit. Then were they saying things like, people were losing their jobs or jobs were hard to get? When COVID hit, I didn't have that issue. You want to know why? Because every major building needs 24-hour security. You go out there, you get your security license, right? Security guard license. Take the course, get your security license, and you can secure yourself a job working an overnight position full time, and that's it. That's your starting point. It could be a starting point. It could be one of your starting points. It doesn't have to be the end all be all, but it's something. If security lasted through COVID, that's a job that's always going to have to be around. It may not pay a lot, not unless you go out there and you become an armed security guard, because last time I checked, you could be an armed security guard making $30 an hour. Do you know what $30 an hour as a full-time security guard looks like a year, bro? That's nasty. That's nasty. And maybe half of the time, you're probably just holding post for something like that. That's a job that somebody can get. Not everybody wants to be a security guard. Then again, I see more older people become security guards than like younger people, at least for me. Because I was one of the younger people in the building when I was a security guard. There's nothing wrong with that job, though. But for me, for someone who is ambitious, who wants to go beyond that and go further, sounds like you're trapped. I can only imagine. I'm not even 18 yet. I hear you, Wi-Fi. But, I'm not trapped, though. I'm not trapped. Trapped is a mindset. And I refuse to adopt that. I am not trapped at all. Where I am today, I don't think I would have it. I would rather have it any other way. My thing is this. It's like I personally am not on any government programs. But I personally am not. My mom is. And since I live with my mom, she gets penalized because of me. And that's the truth. That's the truth. My mother gets penalized because of my ambitions. And having to sit there and have the conversations with her and be arguing with her because of someone else is unacceptable, bro. It's unacceptable. I hate that. I want to take care of those that took care of me. You know? But once again, the way these programs are built, bro. I'm grateful for having the mindset that I have because I'm not on any government programs. I'm not. I will not be on any government programs. I don't care what it is, bro. I don't care what it is. If it isn't first-time homeowner loan program, government assistance to get your first property, if it ain't that, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me at all. Ever. Don't talk to me. I'm not hearing it, bro. I'm not hearing it. I've seen too many people just get saturated by these programs and then they stop working. Like they're no longer ambitious. They stop. I can't deal with that. I can't deal with that. I just don't like what it looks like. You know? And you know, going back to the job that I work right now, you don't meet too many people that are like, I don't need these. The job tells me, figure out what they need, help them apply for it. Why don't you ask these clients what they want, what they feel, what they need, what they feel their capabilities are? Why is the first thing we're trying to do is help a client apply for a damn program, bro? Why is that? Why is that? I don't understand. I don't understand. Because you know what's going to happen if when you help a client apply for programs? When that client goes out there and gets a full-time job, you know what's going to happen? That client is going to be like, bro, I'm about to lose these benefits because I have a full-time job. Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. Example, general assistance. General assistance has a cap. It's about like $185, if not maybe $200 a month. Go out there and go pick up a part-time job and see how quickly you lose that GA. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. What I'm saying is you have people out there that will not go and get a part-time job just to maintain general assistance, bro. Government programs are built to keep you down because if the government is just giving you money for not working, why would you want to go out there and go get a job? What do you think happened when COVID first hit? Bro, unemployment was paying more than people's part-time jobs, bro. You had regular people, no mental health diagnosis, no issues, no physical limitations, quitting their jobs to hop on unemployment and collect what, maybe $600? Well, I don't really know how it boiled out. Was it $600 a week, or was it $100 a month? It was either way. It was paying more than people's jobs, so people started leaving their job to collect government benefits. That is not a life that I want for myself, bro. Because the programs are designed for you to. Why the hell would you want to go? Why would you, bro? Why would you go work? Unemployment is paying you for free. And usually, when we're playing video games and I say, oh, he thought he could scam me for free. But this is real. Programs like that pay you. And I understand that unemployment works in a way that like the money you put into the system is what you get out. And then if you really need it, then you get on these programs. I'm not talking about the people that really do need these programs. I'm talking about everybody else that doesn't need the programs, that apply for programs, that get on programs, knowing damn well they didn't need them in the first place. They get on these programs because they're available. And then what? Then you're surprised when they get saturated by the system, bro. I don't want to go back to work. I want to keep collecting benefits. 10, 15, 20 years down the line, then these people become parents. And now when they have kids, their kids are born into these systems, dependent on the system. And then it hurts, bro. It hurts. Because remember, parents can claim their children, bro. They can claim their children. How many dependents do you have in a household? Oh, you have like 3? Okay, we're going to award you about like maybe $560 in food stamps. You have $500 in food stamps, bro. 500 to take care of your family. So what happens? Maybe perhaps you have people that go out there and be like, I only get 120 in food stamps. Maybe I should go have a couple of kids so I can get more money from the government. Why is that a mindset that somebody would have? Because the programs are built to make you dependent. And then you hear all of the stories from everybody else and their grandmother talking about how it's so nice to be on government assistance programs. But then you have that one person in the family that wants nothing to do with government programs. And what happens? Then you start getting into bouts and arguments with your family about like how you should hop on the train and go down there and apply for welfare and food stamps because you get free money, you get a bus pass, and you get food stamps. Why can't I just go out there and go get a job and go get it myself? That's the question that people just don't ask. And then you wonder why minority communities are so damn saturated by government assistance programs. You wonder why. Because no one is even bothering to ask them that question where it's like, bro, do you not want more for your life? You know it's possible, right? You don't have to get on food stamps. As an 18-year-old, you can go out there and go get a damn job, bro. I'm not saying that it's easy to get a job. I do look at life like this. When there's a will, there's a way. Okay? And once again, I'm a case manager right now, right? And I know I get it. Outside of the people that absolutely need the programs, you have so many people in between that are just on the programs, bro. They're on the programs. They don't want to work. They don't want to do anything else. Then you may have some people that get on the programs and are like, bro, I'm going to be on this for a little bit, get to where I need to get to and get off of them. How many people do you bump into like that when someone is on a program for like 3, 4, 5 years, bro, and it's like, bro, like, I've been okay. Like, my Medicaid is okay. This is okay. That is okay. Like someone that's getting Section 8. Section 8 is hard to get, so I think I might take that one out of the category because of how hard it is to get. But if we want to be fair, we'll talk about all of them, right? Section 8, right? Then you have, like housing choice vouchers. That is like Section 8. You have like rental assistance, you have cash assistance, you have food assistance, right? And then you have your medical insurance. What is that? 5 things? Cash assistance, rental assistance, Medicaid, medical assistance, right? Food stamps. And I might be missing another one. We'll throw transportation in it because there are also transportation services that will take you to and from where you need to go. Especially if it's a doctor's appointment. There are programs out there that'll take you to your doctor's appointment. This is 5 programs, bro, that if one person has, do you know what rental assistance looks like? Rental assistance looks like your rent is $1,500. Rental assistance makes it so your rent is $500. Then you have your medical insurance, which that I'm not saying that medical insurance isn't is a negative. I'm not saying that. There are a lot of people that need that insurance because lives depend on that. Like actual lives depend on that. And we can argue that for all other categories, but when I'm mentioning these things, I'm just talking about like how like people just get saturated by systems, right? Like if you put yourself in that scenario, if you own like some type of residence and it's like 1,500, right? I know I'm repeating myself, but I'm gonna try to keep it short. If you have a residence and it's like 1,500, with rental assistance, your rent is like maybe 500, possibly 6, right? So whereas every other people around you are paying like 15 and up for an apartment in the same spot, you're paying 5. Okay, now you got food stamps. So not only is your rent like $600, but let's say you're getting like $130 for and like food stamps. That's money for you to go to the grocery store, and buy food. You can't buy hot food, but you can buy cold food. And if you know how to cook, okay. I don't know if you can you buy frozen meats? I think you could buy frozen meats with that, but you can't buy anything hot made and ready. You can't buy that. But okay, so now not only do you have pocket money from your rent being reduced, but you have additional pocket money because you got food stamps. So that only adds to what you're already not spending by default a month. Then you have like some kind of form of transportation that will take you to and from any and all doctor's appointments you may have in that respective county. So technically, as far as like doctor's appointments go, you don't even need a car because you have a service that would take you there because it's billing your Medicaid. Okay? It's billing your insurance. You're not coming out of the pocket. You're not spending gas money. Nah. Because you got a medical driver taking you to your doctor's appointment halfway across town. Okay? So maybe some people will be like, bro, I've been living here for 4 years. Everything that I need is like right here. I don't need a car. And when I need to go to the doctors, I can go call up Motive Care and have Motive Care take me to my doctor's appointment. You see what I'm talking about? Why would you want to go out there and go get your own? I'm not saying that you have to have a car. You really don't even need a car, especially if you live in a place like New York. You don't need a car. You can take a taxi everywhere. But see, what happens is, like, and I've seen it, people get to a point where even if they have to spend $20, they got a problem with it. And I look at it like this is what happens when you get on these programs, and these programs are dishing out so much money for you to be on the programs, bro. Then you start to get afraid when a bill pops up. Oh, I'm afraid of this bill. It was supposed to be covered at 100%. It's like, bro, if you have to pay a copay, then pay the copay, bro, if you must. But no, we want to go back and forth with 60 different insurance companies about why you feel as though this copay you shouldn't have to pay and the insurance should cover it. You don't want to work for anything. You don't want to pay for anything because the government is working and paying for all of your stuff. And if you don't fall in line, if you're too ambitious, it disrupts the programs. It disrupts the programs. You make too much money, you don't qualify for this program no more. Great. I didn't want the program in the first place. But to hurt those around you, because because you want to try to be a man in this world, because you want to be a full-time content creator, if God was to smile upon you and make that happen, I would change my situation in a heartbeat. I understand that life doesn't necessarily work that way, and you have to work towards it. And I am grateful that I have the connections that I have, that I've been in touch with the people that I've been in touch with, because like I have been doing my best and making the necessary moves and changes. One thing that I know for sure is like people are really starting to piss me off, and I'm sick of it. The one thing that I do want to know, right? The one thing that I do want to know is like, considering the things that I have going on right now, I really want to know if situations will lighten up on my family. That's really what I would want to know. And guess what? It'll be so ironic if they don't. It will be so ironic if they don't. And that will only further prove my point that like I was so much better off, that not I was, that that I was always better off going my own way, right? And that I was always right about, and that I'm always right about how I see government programs. You cannot be someone with high levels of ambition. You cannot be someone that is willing to go out there and get a full-time job. Because the minute you start bringing money in, bro, those programs are looking. And once again, this does not include the people out there in the United States of America that absolutely need these programs. If you need OTA, and I mean absolutely need OTA, like you can't eat without it. I understand. I'm doing a little better now, Will. I'm doing a little better now. Like, I understand if you absolutely need benefits with the OTA or like welfare. I understand. If you are literally starving and you don't have no food and you need to apply for SNAP benefits, I understand. If you do not have like medical insurance and you need to go see a doctor, number one, doctors cannot refuse you because you don't have the ability to pay. When you go to the hospital, doctors can't refuse treatment because you can't pay for it. They have to treat you by the oath that they take. They can't disregard you. But under that circumstance, like if you need the medical insurance, absolutely need it, because you have doctors that you need to get linked in with that you just don't have. I understand. Go get linked in with that. Do your thing. I understand, like if people absolutely need the rental, like rental assistance. I get that. If you really can't afford $1,600 a month, right, and you're doing it on your own, I understand. I cannot understand the people in the middle that just accept the programs because they're there. Because there's something in me that believes if everyone that didn't need the programs didn't get on them, maybe there would be more money for those that absolutely need it to get a little more in the benefits that they do really need. Family issue, Wi-Fi, household issue, both of those, bro. And it's just look, like I've said time and time again that like I really would like to take care of those that took care of me. And what pisses me off more about like the current situation is that when you are trying to build your life and then to see that life hurt those around you because of the government programs that they're on, it angers me. It does anger me. I was really upset when I first turned the stream on. I was really upset. I felt as though I needed to to turn the stream on and talk about it. That's a part of that's definitely a part of it, Weefy. So everything that they ask for me, all of the personal documents, we want to know about finances. We want to know about this account, that account. You say no, family suffers. My family has been suffering since the day I got a job. It's not a money piece, Will. It's not that. It's when I first started working, it was me and my brother and my mom. We were here. Brother moved out. And it only goes to show that like African American families are targeted. Bro, any government, any family that is on government programs are targeted, bro. They're targeted from a financial aspect, and I don't mean targeted in a negative way. I just mean targeted in a sense of like, if you're gonna get on a government program, you have to understand that like when you start to make money, when you get yourself a job, yeah, I'm mixed. I'm definitely mixed. Spanish. But all of that stuff is in there. Black, white, I said black, white. Puerto Rican, Indian, black. That's me. I just prefer to say mixed. Bro, the way that I've looked at government programs when I was a kid, it's the same way that I look at them today, and I have the same conversations. You cannot argue with people. You can't argue with like government programs that want to know about where your money is coming from, because they can always look up your information and see it. They can always look up your information and see it. Now, my thing is, if these programs are going to sit there and penalize like my family, don't ever think that I will ever see these government programs as anything less than an enemy, bro. Period.
Oh, well, technically, you gotta do this, and this to maintain, this little thing that you got going on here.
You couldn't just leave my family alone? Nah, you want to go on the books. You want to go off of technicalities. But there are so many people out there in the world that are finessing systems, and you don't want to bother them. But you want to bother people that are doing things the right way. Now, I would never claim the victim's mindset. Never. I just understand how these government programs are, because I work for a company where you're supposed to help people apply for programs. Newsflash, when you help them apply for programs, they better not have $1 to their name. That is the only way for you to get on these programs and not have them ask you any questions about it. Any questions? None. That's the only way, bro. And once again, it goes back to what I said. That's not the way to live. That is not a life to live, bro. It's not. You mean to tell me you have to go through your whole life maintaining government assistance programs by having little to nothing to your name? No. I decline. Respectfully. It's not for me. It's not for me. It will never be for me. And having to see like my family stress because of how the system is only infuriates me, and it is more of a reason why I have to get my own, bro. I have to get my own property. I have to. And I know talking about it is like, yeah, talking about it, blah, blah, blah. We've been living here for a while, bro. Did not have to go through what we're going through right now. The assets that you do acquire they want to know about them. As if they don't know how certain asset systems work.
Oh, you got an asset. Oh, you got this.
Well, yeah, it's not an asset if I take it away. And even that has a penalty. You ever thought about that? Oh nah, it's an asset to you. That's money. That can be turned into cash that can help pay for things. Well, then it's no more. Now it's zero. Act like people are walking around here with $100,000 gold coins, bro. That's an asset. But because it falls into the category of an asset, it's an asset. Even if it's $1. Even if it's it's an asset, it's $1. It's worth $1. This asset is worth $1. It's an asset. Yeah, right, bro.
We want to see.
You want to see something that you're technically not supposed to touch? It's an asset for a reason. You're not supposed to touch it.
Well, because it's available, we're gonna do this.
Now what you're doing is you're possibly forcing people to dip into their assets to pay for something. It's no longer an asset. You just made that a liability. Because you're punishing people for trying to get ahead. And that's why I always said that I have to get my own property. It's not about no American dream, bro. I don't care about the American dream. I just have a dream. Citizens set up for failure. It's these government programs, bro. It's the programs. I'm not saying it's all of them. I'm not saying that. But man, it's just frustrating to see how, like, you gotta sit here and deal with issues like that, and then they're sitting there telling you, oh yeah, we're gonna raise your rent because your son is working now. How can you penalize those I care about because I want to make money? How can you penalize those I care about because I want to try to build my own life as an undergrad in college? How can you do that? There's no other way that you can tell me that makes sense outside of the fact that you're just sitting here following these rules, following these policies, and because the head of household signed up for it, now you were going to penalize those I care about, and all I have is a part-time job. You're gonna penalize my family? Yeah. If you know coming in that the head of household is bearing the majority of the financial burden of a residence, and then one of the kids starts making money, you use that as justification to raise the rent again, making it even more difficult for the head of household to afford the new rent because you raised it, because you looked at it in the system and you said that's income coming into the house. A landlord would not do I really don't think that a landlord would do something like that, bro. Like a landlord on something like, okay, I get it. Like your landlord would, raise the price. I don't think that like a regular landlord would see, oh, all of this income that's coming into the residence, you know, technically now we're gonna charge this family 15, we're gonna charge the family on the first floor 12, and we're gonna charge the family in the basement 3,000 because there's 7 of them living down there, and combined they make like 10 grand a month. How like I really don't think that a landlord would justify something like that. But public housing programs will, bro. Public housing programs will. You sit there, you go out there in the world, you try to do as best as you can to actually become something in life, become somebody respectful. And the programs are like, we're gonna raise the rent. We're gonna question these other programs. Yeah. And then you want to serve my family with termination eviction papers now. Yep. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. We hold the right to terminate or disqualify. I see. So the information that you did receive wasn't good enough. If programs can look up information, and if programs can see that you've been working at a particular job, let's say for like 2 years, how substantial do you really think a retirement account is? And who told you that I was going to retire? When you add logic to it, it should make sense. They don't even think that deep, bro. They don't consider how old you are. They don't. They don't pull you to the side or like ask you, hey, do you plan on blah, 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 blah? Nah, better yet, I'm on the verge of getting rid of it. But do you care about that? You probably don't. You probably don't. And not to mention, that isn't good. That isn't good enough. You can tell them you're gonna get rid of it. You know what they're gonna say next? We might want some proof that you no longer have this account. It's a never-ending issue where like public housing is not the way to go, bro. If you can avoid it, avoid it. That's why I would say through and through. I understand FHA loans, conventional loans, like what is it? There's a veterans loan for like owning property. I can understand that. Because even though you're taking out that's not it's a program, but you're getting loan money. Like you take out a loan, get a piece of property. Depending on your mindset, you can rent it out. Now you got some income coming in. You can't have that type of mindset and like programs like these, bro. These programs aren't built for you to try to get ahead like that. Every dollar that you make is another dollar that they want to look into. It's another dollar that they're possibly going to take. It's another dollar that they're probably going to justify a rent raise, because technically, there's more income coming in the house. They don't care about what debt you have. They don't. Because I look at it like if they did, they will understand. I went to college, undergrad. I went to undergraduate studies. And I have a master's degree. You think they care about how much debt you got? Technically, your net worth is in the negative, just based on what you owe. They don't care, bro. They don't care. They don't care about the full picture. They just want a snapshot of what they want a snapshot of. And I told myself, bro, like I will never get in there. I will never have another conversation like that again, because I'm tired of arguing with these people. I'm tired of arguing. Had enough of it, man. tired in the sense of like, bro, stop talking to me type tired. And I'm like, you know what? Like I really just I had what I believe in. I have to do. I have to do it, bro. I have to go. I have to go. I cannot look back, because where I am right now, bro, I can already think of what somebody else would do in my situation. Stop everything that I'm doing right now. Go back to the place, where I'm currently working. Let them know, okay, I changed my mind, and be stuck here forever. Never. I'm going to keep on going forward. Because if I go forward, I don't know what's going to happen. If I stop, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to be right here. And I'm not letting that happen to me. Then when I look back on this, in the next 2 years, year and a half, when I look back on this, I know it'll be worth it. I swear, bro. I can see it now. I can see it now. I could see me walking down like my driveway, like walking up my driveway. I could see me leaving out my front door, turning the key. Maybe the door's brown. But my key, you open the door. Family in there watching TV. Little house on the prairie. Brother in the kitchen making something to eat. I got my senorita in the house. All of that. And it's mine. And that's why I can't turn back. I've never been the type of person to go around telling people my business, because don't nobody care, bro. Nobody care what you go through. Just gotta keep on moving forward no matter what you do. You gotta keep on going, because you don't know what could happen. You don't know what could happen. That's why when they say you gotta risk it, bro. You have to be willing to take a risk if you want to accomplish anything in life. Because the person that you'll become, the person that you'll discover who you are or whatever, or not even discover who you are, but discover what you can do, is on the other side of that risk. If you don't take a risk, 9 times out of 10, you probably won't learn anything. I look at it like every area that I've ever saw people in my family have problems with, I've challenged all of those, man. I've challenged them all, and one of the biggest areas that I've challenged, government programs, bro. I've been challenging government programs my whole life, because I've seen my cousins on it, I've seen my uncles on it, I've seen my aunts on it, I think my dad was on it, my mom on it, and I'm like, bro, I can't let this happen anymore, bro. It stops with me. And it's not even about, it stops with me. No, it's I'm tired. No, man, there has to be more to it, bro. We can't keep doing the same things. Things never change, bro. They're not gonna change. You keep doing the same thing, That's from that insanity right there, man. If you're doing the same thing and expecting things to change, it's not gonna change. I kid you not, bro. Look, right here, I have a folder, bro. I have a folder with things I need to fill out, bro. And I'm going to fill this out. I'm going to turn this in, and I'm not going to look back at all. At all. I know what I believe in, bro. Even if it's like, well, what do you believe in? Can't describe it. I just believe that there's a way, man. There's a way. I have a chance. And this chance is looking real scary. It's looking real scary because that's where it's like, bro, people look at it like, you looking for that financial security, or are you willing to take this chance? And that's exactly where I am in my life right now. That is exactly where I am in my life right now. And there are real reasons why someone else in my situation would be like, you know what? Can't do this. I'm going to go back. I'm going to let them know, yeah, I'm staying. No, I'm not. I made my decision and I stand on it. And I want to be able to take you guys with me for the ride. I want you guys to see the transition. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't waste my time like that, like doing things like that. I don't do things like that. My head has always been I've always tried to prepare my best for situations where when that uncertainty pops up and that random thing happens, which it has, I want to make sure that I didn't waste my time partying, having fun. No. When I was in high school, when people were sitting there, having fun, having parties, going to the mall every Friday, I'm like, bro, I need a purpose. I'm not going to the mall just to walk around with y'all. I'm not going to the mall to waste my time. I don't even have money in my pocket, and y'all want me to go to the mall with y'all. I'm not going to the mall to watch somebody else shop and get something and me get nothing. I'm not wasting my time like that, bro. I understand spending time with people is valuable because it builds your social circle, and that's great. What I will say is I'm not trying to waste my time and just be present just to be present. That's not enough for me. That's not enough for where I want to be. No. And where I am right now, where I am today, I made a choice and I stand on it. I'm not afraid. I am not afraid, bro. I'm not afraid. I don't care about what the world think it got for me. What obstacles they think, oh yeah, I'm gonna throw this at you. I don't care about none of it, bro. I don't. And I know some people are like, yeah, haters out there. Yeah, you say that now. Wait until it actually happens. You don't know nothing about me, bro. You don't know where my head is. You don't know what I think about on a daily. Stop talking to me. And I'm like, Josh, you sound a little crazy. Ain't even nobody, hating. And it's like, look, bro, I'm talking about the doubt, the fear that that sometimes you may have, thinking about should you stay in this comfortable spot? No, I can't stay in this spot because I look at where I am right now and I look at it like, oh yeah, so you testing me. Oh, you clearly, you think I'ma just turn back now. No, bro. I refuse to succumb, bro. I'm not giving up on my dreams, man. I'm not giving up on my plans, my goals. I'm not giving up on that. I'm walking the path, and I'm not gonna lie. I thought about it, and I see issues. I see issues, but I'm like, bro, even though I see those issues, I see what I'm doing on the side when those issues are present. I know where I want to go, bro. I know where I want to go. I know, I have an idea of where I want to be. I have an idea of what I want to do. I have the ability to do that. It's going to be a challenge because it's going to be a challenge. but it's not a challenge that, that I'm afraid to take. Like, no. I accept the challenge with open arms. Like, I've seen the potential. I've seen it. I know what some of my abilities are, and I've seen them at hand, killing it. I had a midterm due, and the midterm was due in 4 hours. I got a 9.7 on that midterm. I got a 9.7 on something that I was given a week to do, and I did in 4 hours. When there's a will, there's a way. You put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. These goofy hiccups, bro. Just want to close my eyes. Pray a little bit, I guess. Right? Dear God, I wanted to reach out to you today because I wanted to get a little bit of reassurance that I've been making the right decisions up until this point. Ever since I was a little kid, I've always thought about how I can make it all make sense. And I know that sometimes it's not up to me to make it all make sense on my own. Right now, I think that there is something that I must do, and that is believe in my abilities until it kills me. Because I know that if I stop right now, it'll feel almost like dying. I tell myself that everything that I've done up until this point is for my family. And I know that that is true. But I know that the individual is important too. I can't take care of my family if I can't take care of me. And I'm trying. And even though I'm a closed off, reserved individual, I'm grateful that people still want to be around me. And I'm grateful that those that I've reached out to the right people. I made the right connections, and they actually helped me build a bridge to where I want to be. And I don't want to let any of those people down. Not my mom, not my brother, not those that helped me, referenced me, supported me, helped guide me, protect me. And I'm grateful for being the way that I am, because I've never been disrespectful towards anyone, blatantly and on purpose. And I think that that has really helped me learn to communicate properly with the people that I may not agree with outright. And right now, where I am today, and this moment, considering everything that has happened this week alone, it is so interesting to have something so positive happen and then to be faced with something so negative at the same time. Yet, I'm weird. And I know that you made me this way. Because even now, like, I am still optimistic. Even when I'm facing like a real issue right now. I see that opportunity, and I'm not letting it go. I'm not letting it go. I've always told people that, you have to lead by example. Now was my opportunity to do just that. And if I can make it to the other side of this unscathed or scathed, take a couple scars along the way. It's not gonna stop me from moving forward, because I have to. If I stop right now, yeah, I know exactly where that ends. If I keep going, I don't know where it ends. But it's exciting to have that feeling over the first. And I just wanted to pray. Try to make it make sense. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Leafy, appreciate you for being here, man. It's just what I believe. Not sad no more. Not angry no more. Just want to get to work, because I know I can do it, bro. I know I can do it. I know I can break free. And then when I break free, I'm taking my family with me. And there is nothing that they can do about it. Guess that's all I got, amigos. That's all I got tonight. That's all I got tonight. This is by far one of the most real just chatting streams I've ever had. It would have been nice if Ying was here. Would have been nice if Mad King was here. Naitoro. Got my boy Weefy. Star popped in. Shout out to Yami, Weefy, Will, and Star. Appreciate you guys for being here. And everyone that's in the chat, you know, over on Twitch and YouTube that hasn't responded. Shout out to you guys. Not everybody talks in chats. But I had to have a real conversation with you guys. I can't sit here and fake it, you know. I think that there are a lot of YouTubers out there and a lot of stories out there that don't really tell a story and they kind of give you a snapshot of things. And look, I try my best to be optimistic and just real about what's going on. And I look at it like, if I can do that, I can do anything. The life that I've chosen for myself is to make it to a place where I could take care of my family and they don't have to worry about anything, bro. They don't have to worry about anything because they're taken care of. Now I know that's a major burden, and it's bro, you're putting a lot on yourself to you're talking about taking care of the whole family unit. Who do you think you are, Houdini? Man, make me the next Houdini if that's the case. Only this time, I'm not playing no magic tricks. But no disrespect to Houdini. He was super famous. I think he did some kind of major stunt that didn't go well, but it's just I believe, bro. I believe in it. That's why I move the way that I move. That's why I talk the way that I talk, and that's why I see the world in the way that I see it. I've always had a knack for finding strength in times where you probably shouldn't have any, or not that. It's difficult to muster the courage and the strength to find the light in such dark areas, but I don't know how else I should be. I really right now, I'm being honest with you guys. There's something in me that looks at that termination letter, that termination letter that my mom got. I see it as a blessing in disguise, bro. I see it as an opportunity to spread the wings and fly, bro. I see it as an opportunity to just go for it, man. See it as an opportunity to be free, but I know that there's that financial piece is real, bro. That financial piece is real. But I do see it as an opportunity to learn, to grow, to do something different. Not everyone has that mindset to do something like that because people are afraid. I'm not. I know that there are real consequences out there in the world to not have certain privileges in life, And listen, if you have a place, that's a privilege. I don't deny that. But to have that privilege be dangled in front of you because of what someone else says, or not listening to someone else's program, bro, that's not freedom. It's not the way that I would want to see, people live long term. Because what's gonna happen if you make it to a point where like, you have to like get certain benefits, and guess what if your benefits don't even cover the full amount? Then you're gonna have to leave. I just want to be better than I was yesterday, and I really want to really go and grasp all of the things that I see and pull it into my world. And I know it's there. It's a rocky road. It's a rocky road, because you're going to ruffle feathers along the way. You're not going to get everything right. It ain't going to stop me from trying. It ain't gonna stop me from moving. Not that. Not this. No. I have enough motivation to last me a lifetime. A couple of lifetimes. Now, just gotta be disciplined and get to it. Shout out to David Goggins. Your life is all messed up right now. So, stay hard. Well, guys, I know this was a little bit on the downside, and you guys were kind of going through it with me. But I had to talk about it. I had to let out my anger because it was pissing me off. It was pissing me off. Ladies and gentlemen, I guess we should wrap up the stream, right? Start wrapping up the stream. Final words. My final words for the stream today. Close my eyes for this one, I guess. Think about what I'm thinking. Final words. First thing that comes to mind. Don't ever let anyone tell you that you can't do something. Whatever you believe in, you go for it. You go for that. You protect it. And even when times get rough, you hold on to that. Because quitting, that only guarantees that it'll never happen. You can get so far, and the quit destroys all of the progress that you've made up until that point. So you sat there and you told me your story, your dream, your visions, and then you had the audacity to go out there into the world and not act on that? Nah, you're not disappointing and disrespecting me. You're disappointing and disrespecting yourself. So whatever goals, dreams, and visions you have, work towards that. You don't even have to let people know about it. Only let a couple people know that you trust. Share the details if you will, maybe a little bit. Don't tell them everything. You know, like, there's more power in discovery than there is you just running around telling people about what you're gonna do. Don't talk about like your goals. Nah, just go out there and start accomplishing. Turn your dreams into a reality, because it's all possible. No one ever said that it wasn't. Because everyone around you is going to sit there and say, oh, it's not possible. But then when you make it happen, oh, I didn't even know. Yeah, you didn't believe, but I did. And it's real. And you see it. You see what's going on over here. And that's what I want to do in my life. You know, I understand that my family, they've been on government assistance programs since I was a kid. Me? No. I'm going to make it to a point where we don't need that. I'm going to make it to a point where I don't need that. And when I set the foundation, just best believe there's going to be enough space for, for my family to start coming over there, make a little spot and relax. Yeah. They don't even have to relax. Just know that that space, that spot is going to be there. No questions asked. No questions asked. So I'm gonna get to looking. I'm gonna get back to, like, looking around, trying to find like properties and things like that. Like, I'm gonna get back to it. However long we gonna stay here, so however long we gonna stay here. And then what's gonna happen? A year and a half, 2 years, year and a half from now, when I got everything where it needs to be, I swear that's what, by the grace of God, I'm gonna turn this cycle up on his head. I swear. I'm gonna break free, bro. I'm gonna break free from the cycle. And I swear, that's it. I'm making all types of ripples in the ocean. Kid you not. I don't even know what I'm saying right now, but I'm telling you, like, I'm gonna make my mark on the planet, bro. I'm gonna make my way. I'm gonna make my way. I believe that, and I just have to keep moving forward. And I know that at some point it sounds like you're saying the same thing. You can watch 60 different motivational videos, and they all have the same message. The only thing that's different is the person that's saying it. You have to go out there, you have to, get after it, you have to do it. Like, you have to apply yourself. If you don't apply yourself, years later you're gonna wonder why things didn't change. You're gonna look back on a situation like today and be like, damn, I could have tried. Who knows what would have happened if I would have tried? Bro, I tried, and I'm still trying, and I will always try to be different, because that's how I was designed. I was made like this. And that is enough for me to walk into any room with the level of confidence that I need, because I know I'm gonna do things my way. I'm gonna be respectful, but I'm definitely gonna do things my way, because I have to. And then when I make it to that level, when I become a therapist, and then there are people sitting in front of me, and we're having that conversation, and they're like, Josh, how did you even make it to this spot? And I'm like, and I'm gonna tell them outright, whatever you believe in, you gotta go after that. You wanna be a firefighter? Go ahead. You can do that. No one's telling you that you can't. But you gotta be willing to go through the trainings. You gotta be willing to take that first step. And after you take that first step, don't even think about taking the second step. Just do it. Once you already identify what you want to do, focus on the journey, not just the end goal. because obstacles are going to pop up and it's going to sting, and there are going to be some situations that are going to question like your resolve, whether or not how bad you want it, like whether you really want to stick through with it. I already know I know me, I don't have a choice but to stick through it. I don't have a choice but to stick through it. To stop today is to kill all of the progress, all of the classes that I've taken, all of the grades that I've gotten, all of the articles that I read, all of that. It's to kill all of the times that I stayed up, overnight working on like assignments and everything. It kills all of that. It's not gonna happen, and it will never happen. It will never happen, bro. It's not gonna, no, not at all. And that's just the mindset that you have to have. If you quit now, you only guarantee that it will never happen for you. If you quit now, it will only guarantee that it will never happen for you. But spoken by, Jim Rohn, why not you? Why not you? Work harder on yourself than you do your job. How you do one thing is how you do everything. And just make sure that you were better than you were yesterday. That's all I can say. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're gonna wrap the stream up here, okay? I appreciate you guys for tuning in, interacting with yours truly, being present when I was 100% present. I pray that this stream gets out there to somebody that really needs to see it. I don't care about the views. I don't care about no viral moment. I just want for people to be able to see this, look back on it, and have a moment to kind of be real with themselves and to see that it's possible, bro. And even when things get really hard and like there are justifications on why it would be safe to turn back, or why it would make sense to go back on your word. No. And be what? Mediocre? Not know where this life can take you if you would have just kept going, if you would have committed? I would rather go through life living with the unknown, not knowing how far I can go, than to stop and know that I will never grow. That's not going to be my story. That doesn't have to be your story. That doesn't have to be our story. It doesn't have to be your family story. It doesn't have to be my family story. And I swear, by all the power that God will put in me, and as stubborn as I am, I will make sure that it doesn't end that way. I will make sure, as best I can, until death do me part, bro, that I will keep going forward. I will keep moving. I'll practice what I believe in, because it's all I believe in. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Weefy, Will, Star, Yami, if you're still in the chat, if you feel as though there's someone out there that could benefit from watching this stream, just do me a big favor and just send it their way, okay? I appreciate you guys for being here and listening to me ramble. further ado, Will, Star, Yami, Weefy, I appreciate you guys for tuning into the stream and interacting with yours truly. I have some homework that I gotta get done. I want to do it tonight so that tomorrow is free. So I'm gonna try to get that done, okay? I appreciate you guys. And we'll see you tomorrow.